열어둘까? 어?
pieces of things because it makes it way easier to eat while talking to people who come up to you. And I also like to bring my own food because I eat a specialized diet, and con food is not usually friendly towards anybody who has any kind of different diet, so that's why I bring my own stuff all the time. Very tight squeeze behind the booth. There's like 2 feet of space, and our entire row has to go this way to get out. So that's kind of how Anime Central went. Honestly, it was a really great con money-wise. It's actually the best con I've ever sold at. Maybe second best. That's awesome. I've noticed that this year, the few shows that I did last year and then the few that I've done this year, my numbers have been way up for the most part, which is awesome. I think it's kind of a mix between people didn't go to cons for like a year and a half, 2 years, so they have a ton of spending money that they had been saving up for a while. And two, I honestly, while I wasn't doing cons, I was doing a ton of new art, and I feel like my skills increased and I got a lot more stuff to choose from. So I think those two things combined have made cons recently a lot better for me than they were previously. Like I said, ASEN, second best con I've ever sold at. However, there were a lot of problems going into it. The biggest thing is that 4 days before the con started, they sent out a message that said they were no longer going to be requiring masks or vaccines for the con, and that really bothered me because it is a gigantic convention. In previous years, they got like 40,000 people or something, somewhere along there. It did not make me feel great that they weren't requiring masks or vaccines. And related to that is that they actually said in April that they were not going to change their requirements, even though the CDC requirements had changed. So all that together made it for a very mentally stressful week the week before the event. That sucked. It was also bad because they were not giving out refunds at all, which is not great. I don't know. I was actually lucky because I accidentally bought 2 helper badges because the website glitched out while I was buying it. And I sent a request to get a refund for the second one. They were like, well, we don't know if we can help you. They did end up helping me and refunding me, which I'm very happy about. But the fact that they usually do not give refunds at all kind of sucks for both vendors and attendees. So I don't know. I don't like that at all. Another thing that was very sad, I don't know if I agreed to this back in 2020 when I originally got the table, but 2 or 3 weeks before the event, they sent out an email to everyone saying that stickers were not allowed to be sold at the convention. And that really bummed me out because I have a lot of stickers and I had actually spent like $200 on a sticker reorder right before this convention, and I didn't get to sell them at all, obviously. So that was sad. And then when I got to the con, I saw people that were selling stickers anyway, so the whole thing made me really sad. But that's okay, I guess. Now I don't have to restock for my online shop and next convention and stuff, so I guess it's not terrible, but I was sad about it anyway. We actually ended up staying at a pretty decently priced hotel. It was maybe like a 20-minute drive away from the convention center. So it wasn't as convenient as it would have been if it was right there, but I would rather pay less money and be inconvenienced than pay a lot of money and be very convenienced. I don't know. So that worked out really well. And parking was only $15 a day, which is really not that bad, especially in a big area. Like this con was technically not in Chicago. It was in Rosemont, Illinois, but I don't know. Suburbs can be expensive too. So all that was good. All in all, it was a good experience. Like obviously the money was good, and that's the best thing about a convention, kind of. Even though the mask mandate was really confusing, I don't know. I was confused by what they were trying to say, and I know a lot of other people were as well. So despite all that, a lot of attendees, I would say most attendees, honestly still wore masks and were cautious and stuff like that. So that's good. And I don't know if I completely blame the convention for it, because I'm sure the convention center had a say in it. Maybe that was the biggest say. I don't know. They didn't tell anybody why they were changing their policy, so it's really just a guess. But so I don't know. So I'm happy that attendees were wearing masks anyway. That made me feel a lot better. So that was okay. That ended up being okay. Sales were great. Parking, fine price. Hotel, good price. Communication before the show, always super stressful at this event. I don't know why. Every time I do this con, it's a lot of stress for me, and I don't know why. It just is. So all that being said, I would recommend the con. I'm pretty sure it's the biggest con in the Midwest area, or the biggest anime con at least. I don't know about like all nerdy conventions, but biggest anime con in the area. And I always do make really good money at it, like even in past years, and obviously this year as well. So I will recommend it, but I don't know. Something about this event causes me so much stress, and I don't know why. Also, so the Artist Alley is a juried lottery, which means that they kind of lightly jury applications when you're applying for the Artist Alley and separate people into different divisions based on what you sell. So like there are a certain number of plush artists there are a certain number of print artists, certain number of like bath and body artists, and then they draw your name out of a lottery for those categories. Honestly, it's a toss-up on getting in every year. Like you can't depend on the strength of your portfolio, and you can't depend on like having really good internet and clicking fast to like in a first come first serve convention. So that's something to be aware of. I think applications open in October every year or so. The table cost $155 back in 2020 when I bought the table. It cost $155 plus $70 for each additional badge past the first one. And then you also have to buy liability insurance, which I think mine cost $45 or $50. Altogether, the con cost about almost $300 to just get the table and badges. So that's like a big chunk of change, but I think it's worth it in this case because the event is so big and because sales are usually pretty good. And then, like I said, the area is still a little expensive because even though it's a suburb, it is part of Chicago, kind of. So it has like Chicago pricing and stuff. So to wrap it up, do I recommend this con? Yes. Just be prepared to be kind of stressed out ahead of time. Unless you don't have any personal stress. Maybe you have really good mental health and you're not going to be stressed out by things not going exactly your way. So maybe it would be good for you. But overall, yes, I would recommend this con, especially if you're in the area, like in the Midwest area, especially if you can drive to it, I guess. Although I think personally, if I flew in, I would still be really happy with the amount of money I made. So, judge for yourself, I guess. But yeah, so I really like this con, and hopefully I'll be able to do it again in the future, even though I get stressed out about it. I still like it. I've been going to this con for many years, both as an attendee and as an artist. So yeah, I don't know. It holds a special place in my heart for that reason. But yeah. But yeah, so thank you so much for checking out my video. My next con is Checo in Pittsburgh in July. But yeah, so thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.